I'm Dhamma Bum, and I'll be your guide for today's guided meditation. Today is Monday, May 4th, and our theme will be acceptance, gratitude, and selfless service. The last 3 times we looked at anicca, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, and anatta, not self. Today we're going to look at some practical ways to deal with these 3 marks of existence. We encourage people to check the description boxes for this and other episodes. It's got some information about Buddhism and meditation that might be useful. In about 24 hours, there will be a closed caption version with a transcript, and that'll be available. And the reason we do guided meditations is in the hopes that participants will develop an interest and maybe pick up some skills that will lead to independent practice in your own home, on your own bat. You can listen to birds or chanting or temple bells or silence or other. There are many guided meditations like this one. Check them out. We always start with the first part of meditation, which is samatha, and that is serenity. And then partway through, we shift to panya, or wisdom. But it always goes in that direction. First, we get serene, then we wise up. Wisdom never arises from a mind in turmoil. Turns out that this is useful. Please subscribe, give us a like, a comment, maybe give us a super thanks. Oh, Daily Dhamma, A Letter to Our Children, is now available on Kindle Unlimited. And so if you're on that, you might consider that. And a big thank you to Mrs. Dhamma and Dhamma G and Eddie and Brian and Mike and Sam and Mitsuko and Neko and all the other little co's. And with that, on my mark. Please find yourself in a quiet spot, spine straight, shoulders back. Lower your chin towards your chest. Let your hands rest in your lap or on your thighs or knees. Close your eyes and mouth gently and imagine a ball of white light, an inch or two, 3 to 5 centimeters below your nostrils. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Just smooth, natural breaths for you. Don't worry about how fast or deep. When outside thoughts intrude, gently brush them aside, thinking, no, that's not my business. I'm focused on my breath as I breathe in through my nose, down past my heart to my stomach, and back out the same way. Now, on Mondays, we always start with the Dhammapada, verses 1 and 2. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Think and act with a corrupt heart, and sorrow will follow, as surely as the cart follows the ox that pulls it. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Think and act with a pure heart, and happiness follows, as surely as one's never departing shadow. So we are taught that our mind creates our moods, our delusions, and our obsessions. And they are all impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. We meditate to calm our mind and tame our heart. We look at our thoughts, we examine them with cool eyes, we see them for what they are, and we let them go. If we let go a little, we get a little serenity. If we let go a lot, we get a lot of serenity. And if we let go completely, that is, if we accept life just the way it is, we find complete serenity. We need to say a word about the human existence. Our existence is comprised of 5 factors. They are our body, our feelings, memories and perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness. And these too are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not the self. We are taught they are like a lump of molten lead, too hot to touch. We cannot touch them on the top. We cannot touch it on the sides or the bottom. There's no place we can touch the Khandhas without burning ourselves very badly. Please join me in a thought experiment. In your mind's eye, lift up and look down on your head at your skull. And on the right, you will see your monkey mind. And it's busy shifting from one mood to the next. The colors go from blue to pink to white to red, never one place for very long. That's on the right. And on the left is a battalion of self-licking ice cream cones. These are our thoughts, and they are very busy, mostly sucking up to our monkey mind. So whatever the monkey mind feels, if it feels okay, the thoughts try to make it giddy. If it feels bad, they remind us of every mistake we've made. And the monkey mind and the self-licking ice cream cones are not our friends. As meditators, we have 3 duties. The first is mindfulness. In this group, we focus on the ball of light. We listen to the Dhamma talk, not to get attached to the Dhamma talk, but to let the words wash over us and sink in. Our second duty is collectedness, or some people say concentration. That just means when outside activities intrude, not if, when they will intrude. We gently brush them aside, thinking, no, that's not my business. I'm focused on the light as it goes in through my nose, down past my heart to my stomach, and back out the same way. And our last duty is contentment. We have a responsibility to be content now, not on Thursday, not the week after next, now. However we are right now is how we are. If we are restless, irritable, and discontent, that's the kind of people we are. If we are content, that's the kind of people we are. In a word, I guess you could say we have clarity. And if you can be clear for just a few seconds in today's meditation, as you go through the coming week, you can stitch together little moments of clarity and just one more, extend it. And we look up and we go, holy cow, I haven't had an angry, resentful, fearful thought for an hour. How did that happen? Well, how indeed. As we go through this week, on Mondays, we look at the coming week, we're going to meet different things. And our theme for the month of May is right speech. And these all have to do with minding our tongues. 4 tips. 1, let's be impeccable in our speech. Let's say what we mean what we say, but don't say it mean. 2, don't assume. I don't know about you, but I am a rotten mind reader. When I assume, I make an ass of you and me. Number 3, Q-tip, quit taking it personally. The universe is not here to mess with us. And 4th, let's do our best to mind our tongues this week. As we move into Panya, if you get too attached, if you get too caught up in the words, just return to watching your breath. Ajahn Chah said, we must see according to anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Anicca, impermanence, is the basis. Dukkha refers to the quality of unsatisfactoriness, and anatta tells us that the 5 khandhas and the material things of life are not self. Someone who is deluded, someone who doesn't have wisdom, will miss this, he said. Wrong view. Not knowing the impermanent nature of all conditioned things is a problem. Things naturally change. To see this is to see the Dhamma, to see anicca, change. When we know how things are, then we can let go of them. Yeah. We suffer if we're attached to the 3 signs of existence, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So that's the theory. Here's the practice. Karma yoga means the way of action. And here are 3 practices that we can put into our life that will help us with this. Acceptance, gratitude, and selfless service. Acceptance. The antidote to endless obsessions with self, ego, sensual desires, the outside world, is to accept life just the way it is. Acceptance doesn't mean we like it. We understand it. We think it's a great idea or that we should order more of it. Acceptance means something just is and there's nothing we can do about it. It is quintessentially human for us to believe that someday we will be able to control and enjoy our life. That is, manipulate others into doing our will. But that is a delusion. Whether we like it or not, we must learn to enjoy life. Because however I want life to be, life is already just the way it is. When we practice acceptance, we discover that we are as happy as we want to be. Our attitude is entirely up to us, and we are not the boss. It turns out that nobody cares about our job title. I mean, nobody. We are a rumor in our own mind, and it makes us suffer. Gratitude is the antidote to self-pity. The hardest math in the world is counting our blessings. You know, the heart is a wonderful thing, but there are limits to what it can do. When our heart is full of gratitude, it cannot contain fear, anger, resentment, self-pity, envy, and no one knows why. Gratitude is like kryptonite to those enemies of the soul. When we find ourselves going off the rails, which can happen with alarming regularity, we find it best to return to the things we're grateful for. And that gratitude pushes all those negative feelings out of our heart. When we are faced with the inevitable ups and downs of life, we got a choice. We can describe the darkness, or we could light a candle. It's best to love what we have, not envy what we have not. And this leads us to selfless service. Selfless service is putting ourselves at the command of God and others. And we don't really care what your vision of God is. Here's something from Jimmy Carr. God is the name we give to the blanket we throw over the mystery to give it shape. Jimmy Carr, I can't believe it. So suit yourself. In our case, it's God is good, orderly direction, but maybe it's grace over drama for you, or great universal spirit, Uncle Gus. And selfless service works like this. There are three things. First, Selfless service, we do that with no thought of the outcome. That's God's business. We just covered what God is. You choose for yourself what God is. We don't care. Second, we're in a boat. We're sitting in the front. Our hands are on the oars. And we row, and we row, and we row. God sits in the back, hands on the tiller, guiding us to the safe harbor where we belong. Division of labor, pure and simple. We row, we develop boring habits. God decides what the outcome is. And third is unconditional love, not transactional love. Transactional love goes something like this: meet my emotional needs and solve all my problems, and maybe I won't abandon you. It's like dickering for the price in a bazaar in the Middle East. That's not that's not unconditional love. Reciprocal love is not emotional blackmail. It's mutual regard for the divine spark in others. We each of us have within our breast a spark of God. Everybody, including the people we don't like. The, this might go something like this: I see your pain, I honor it, but I don't need to fix it. I mind my own business and let other people be as they are. It's the difference between compassion and codependency. Now, no amount of willpower and self-centeredness and bullying our way through will bring us happiness, but this will: acceptance, gratitude, and self-service. Selfless service. Selfless service is putting the needs of God and others before ourselves. No matter how seductive we may find our body, feelings, memories and perceptions, thoughts and consciousness, the only thing that lasts is the divine spark. So we let go of those gigas and the shiny stuff. And this week, as we're going through our days, if you find yourself restless, irritable, and discontent, take a breath, step into the next room, close the door, put your earphones in, cue up this recording. Imagine a ball of white light an inch or two below your nostrils. Breathe in through your nose. Watch it go down past your heart to your stomach and back out the same way. Namaste. So thank you very much for coming. Our next meditation will be Friday, May 8th at 3:45 p.m. Japan time. We don't know what time it is where you are because we don't know where you are. In fact, we can't see people unless you send us a message in here. If you're already here, you know how to get here. If you're watching this afterwards, which most people do because other people have busy lives, if you don't know how to get here, go to today's Daily Dhamma on the YouTube channel. That's May 4th, and there's a little 3-step procedure for how to enter and join the live stream. We'd love to have you here if you've got time. Daily Dhamma, Letter to Our Children, is now available on Kindle Unlimited. And thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And we will see you again very soon. Namaste.